Hi, I'm Gia. You must be Taylor. It's nice to meet you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
No worries. Please have a seat in whichever chair that you feel comfortable in. All right. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me. I hope the drive wasn't too much trouble. How are you doing today?
Doing okay. Doing all right.
Yeah? You enjoying the weather?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool outside. Gotta enjoy it before it starts heating up, am I right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me today. Like I said earlier, I'm just here to get some information from you, just to get you, just to be able to get to know you better, as an individual, and just to see how we can better help you and what's been going on with you. Is that okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. So, during this process, I may ask some pretty personal questions, and I know we just kind of, introduced ourselves, and, I'm a complete stranger to you, and I understand that some of these questions might be a bit uncomfortable for you. Um, I would encourage you to give me as much information as you feel comfortable with sharing at the time. But if for whatever reason you don't feel, super comfortable answering a certain question, if you could at least indicate, just yes or no, we can definitely get more in depth once we kind of establish a better relationship and we start seeing each other and things a lot more. And then we can get more in depth into those types of questions if you'd like. If you feel uncomfortable for the time being right now, that's completely okay.
Okay.
All right, awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. Really quick, I'm just going to go ahead and go through your consents. It looks like you signed off on everything, which is perfect. Really quick, do you have any questions or concerns involving your client rights, the right to your information, anything like that?
No. Thank
Okay, all right. Any questions in regards to HIPAA?
you. No.
Okay, thank you. Any questions relating to, confidentiality or um, understanding the potential breaches when it comes to confidentiality? Obviously, anything that you share remains between you and I, unless that there is, concerns, for your safety and the safety of others. Any questions there, Taylor?
No, I get it. Thank you.
All right, awesome. If any questions come up, please let me know, okay?
Okay.
All right, Taylor. Okay. All right, let's get started. So why are you here, Taylor? In your own words.
I know that I need help. I want to better understand my triggers and want to deal with them in a better way so I can stop using and just be in a better place in general.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just typing up some notes. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Thank you for answering that question for me. Okay, so you mentioned that you've been having some struggles with using. May I ask exactly what you've been using?
Yeah. Well, I started when I was 16, drinking alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
I also had started smoking weed around that time as well.
Okay.
Um,
Okay. And you mentioned you were 16. Am I correct?
yeah.
Okay. And may I ask, who or what introduced you to alcohol or marijuana? Was it somebody at school? Was it kind of like a recreational thing or an experimental thing? Was it a family member? How did that exactly start for you?
Well, my mom and dad have struggled with addiction for a long time. Um, so probably being around them and some other family members that do.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay. And with mom and dad, may I ask what substances they used? Did you feel like they had an addiction problem as well?
Yeah, my parents pretty much did any drugs they could get their hands on, just anything you can think of, probably.
Okay. And did this start, was this like throughout your childhood? Was there a period of time where you noticed the addiction kind of really being an apparent issue with mom or dad, or was it throughout your lifetime?
I would say it's throughout my lifetime, through my childhood and everything.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate your transparency. May I ask if you've ever used any other substances outside of, I know you mentioned alcohol and marijuana, you starting to kind of use those substances when you were an adolescent. Is there any other substances that you may have used?
Um, yeah, when I was about 18, I started using meth and a little bit of fentanyl as well.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much for that, Taylor. I'm looking here in your notes. It looks like you had a recent hospitalization prior to coming to us on March 14th. Does that sound correct?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds about right.
Okay. Can you tell me like what happened? What brought you to the hospital?
Well, at the time, I was feeling kind of depressed, and I know that I really needed to get clean, but that's kind of what brought me into the hospital.
Okay. So, if I may ask, was it just to kind of get clean from substances, or were you having thoughts to hurt yourself? Or,
Yeah, both. I know that, for a little while here, I know I've needed to try to get clean. And also, yeah, I was thinking about hurting myself.
okay,
I didn't, I didn't though. But I did tell my mom that I was thinking about it. So that's how I ended up at the hospital.
gotcha. Okay, okay. Well, I'm glad that you're here with us, Taylor. I'm really happy that you're here. If I may ask, has there ever been other instances within your life where you've had thoughts of wanting to end your life or thoughts to hurt yourself?
Yeah, back in 2017, um, 2017, I did make an attempt to commit suicide.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that with me. May I ask how you attempted to complete suicide in 2017?
Um, by slitting my wrists.
Okay. Okay. Um, all right. Um, may I ask if you have recently had any thoughts of wanting to hurt yourself, wanting to end your life, um, feeling like you want to go to sleep and never wake up? Have you had any of those thoughts recently within the last 2 weeks or a couple of days?
No, not ever since I got out of the hospital. I haven't really felt that way for a little while now. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Um, have you had any thoughts recently, or have you ever had any thoughts in your life to hurt anyone else?
No.
Okay, awesome. Has there ever been a time in your life where you may have seen things or heard things that other people may not see or hear?
No.
Okay. Okay. So, thank you so much for sharing that. So, Taylor, it does seem like you kind of struggled a bit with some depression. Would you say that that's accurate?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. Could you tell me like a little bit more about that? Like when that started for you, when you started to kind of feel like, sad or anything like that?
Um, uh, maybe maybe around 13, I
Okay.
think.
Okay. May I ask, like, was there anything that may have been happening during that time, or that may have caused you to feel that way, or maybe made how you were feeling a bit worse when it comes to feeling kind of depressed and sad?
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of it did have to do with my parents using drugs, and I had to live with relatives who also use drugs. Um, and I guess I kind of got bullied a little bit as well.
Okay. When you say bully, do you mean like at home or at school?
Um, at school.
Okay. Can I ask what happened? Like, what would happen at school? Like, what did that bullying look like for you?
I just think that like people knew I wasn't that confrontational, and they took advantage of that. People would want to fight, or they'd say things to try to get me to fight them, and then they'd go around and make fun of me when I didn't do anything.
Gotcha. Did you ever tell anyone at school what was going on with you, like in regards to the bullying?
No, I don't think I told anybody.
Okay. Okay. So, what would you say? You would say that the substance, like what you're dealing with your substances, would you feel like as of right now, would you feel that that's more of a concern than like maybe being sad? Like, what would you rate your sadness right now in this moment? With 0 being not sad at all and 10 being, kind of like how you may have been feeling when you went to the hospital. What would you rate that as?
What would a 5 be?
A 5 would be like you're kind of struggling a little bit. Maybe you might have some thoughts, maybe once or twice a week about maybe not being here, not wanting to be here. Maybe having feelings like once or twice a week to go to sleep and never wake up.
Um, I would say maybe about a 3.
About a 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, Taylor, I'm super glad that you're here.